Hey, you guys, we are here at A.L. Lewis Museum in American Beach. This place honors Abraham Lincoln Lewis, Florida's first Black millionaire, and the rich history of the Black-owned beach. Let's go inside and check it out.
This is American Beach. American Beach was founded in 1935. This first wall gives the base of the entire story that you're going to learn. This island, the northern end of this island, was the Harrison Plantation. And when the emancipation came about, and we talk about Juneteenth, but Florida was free way before it was announced here initially. So Lincoln sent Sherman and Stanton here right after the war. They confiscated 400,000 acres from Charleston to Jacksonville. And that 400,000 acres is what we've all heard about, 40 acres and a mule.
Okay.
So that 400,000 acres, they divided it up, and the enslaved people could combine as family, blood family, or skill family, because they wanted to build new communities and new life for enslaved people. Where you are staying is the 40,000 acres the enslaved Africans received from the Harrison Plantation. It was intact from 1865 until 1972. They're having an anniversary over there from 1865 until 1972, when the white developers came in and said, "Oh, you want to sell your land? Oh, here, I'll give you $1,000. You got," and that's how they took it. They started in 70 and they completed it by about 72, 73. What they did was just slowly develop that land. That's number one. Number two, the Africans who were there for over 100 years, it was highly developed. All of the Florida beaches were segregated. And in this area, for example, you'll find the law in the back in Jacksonville, which is now Jacksonville Beach, was called San Pablo then. It said that no white person and no Negro person can be, they called it, bathe on the beach within 500 feet of each other. Okay, and then they had some little provisions if, you were a nanny for somebody white, and they had a little cart. So the reason that is significant, because Black folk from Jacksonville would come to Franklin Town, where you live, because it was Black. Black folk from Brunswick, Georgia, would come here. So A.L. Lewis, who was Florida's first Black millionaire, he at that time was the president of the Afro-American Life Insurance Company. He would bring the employees to where you're staying, your little fancy Airbnb. He would bring the employees to that beach and saw that this land was undeveloped and vacant, had a white lawyer intercede, and they bought the first 33 acres in 1935 and then continued to add on. What you're going to see and experience, what Black communities and how they developed. One, he is president of the Afro, that began in 1901 with the name Afro-American Industrial and Benefit Association. The date, I want to say 1901. We weren't even called Negro then, colored and everything else. And the retention of Africa that these brothers have, and you'll see pictures back there. They're the ones that purchased American Beach as the company, not A.L. Lewis. But his vision you'll learn about. Then, fast forward, his great-granddaughter, which we now call the Beach Lady, she's now deceased. She was an opera singer, came back to help his son, her grandfather, and her mother. And her grandfather died when she came back from Europe, and then 6 weeks later her mother died. She stayed here to bring the history back to American Beach. And that was in the 70s. So there's a lot you're going to unfold here. You'll be here maybe 45 minutes to an hour, probably an hour, because I think I've captured your interest.
We did.
The other one is Dr. Janetta Betch Cole. Do you know Janetta Cole? She was past president of Spelman and Bennett College for Women, a great orator. She and the Beach Lady are sisters. A.L. Lewis says, if you know of a Janetta Cole, you'll go, oh, this is where she grew up, and she's the great-granddaughter of A.L. Lewis. One other thing, if I don't remember to say this to you when you leave, there's something called the Kingsley Plantation. From where you're staying, it's probably about 10, 11 minutes down. It's an intact plantation. And Kingsley was a white slaveholder, but he only had children by, never married any white women, was African women. One of his, I call it his main squeeze, was Anta Majigan and Jai. That's who you'll be mentioning about here. She is the grandmother, or great-grandmother of Mary, who he married. So they have, at the plantation, the white slave master was a great diarist. So they have all of the history. He, as I said, had many children. A lot of them at that time were mulatto. You'll see some of the history when you're in. So I'm giving you a lot. You'll hear the narration here. Some people will start and the narration may be very slow and you want to read on your own. You go into this direction. I'll pop in and out, ask if you have questions. When you get at the end, you'll sit down for an 11-minute video of the beach lady giving a tour. Y'all enjoy.